In this video, I will show you how to disassemble a Blu-ray drive of a original or fat PlayStation 3. There are about two different styles. One has this middle plate over it. Actually three. One has a smaller connector, but of course still has the same metal plate over it. And then one that you can actually see a green board here, and then the metal plate is on the lower half or the back half of the system. Once you get it out of the console, you want to take the two cables out. This one has a little flap you flip up, and then you take it out. You want to be careful with this because if you break it, the cable won't stay in place, and then of course it won't work. Once you get it to this point, you have 4 screws that hold the top on. Those 4 screws, once you take out, the top hinges forward towards the front of the system. Otherwise you'll damage this and it won't go on properly. The one last screw that holds the bottom on will let you take the bottom off. On the older backwards compatible system, this board is actually on top of the metal thing. The metal thing starts about halfway. Instead of taking a screw off here, you would take these 2 screws off, and then of course it would fall off. Also on the backwards compatible one, in order to take the top off, you have to take that 3rd screw out. But that's a very minor thing to do, very minor difference. Once you get it to this point, the newer consoles have a drive that takes a newer style laser, and of course you take out 3 screws in order to get the top off of that. The older style, the 400 or CAS 400 style, that particular one has 2 more screws in about this region here, so you'll take 5 screws off. This one, once you take the 3 screws out, you have a little flap here and a little flap on the opposite side, and the top just comes right off. The little disc holder also comes off, it just falls right off. It's not screwed in, so you don't have to worry about that. And of course, you get to this point, you have your laser, your motor, and of course the other motor that spins the disc, and then a few other little components, gears and stuff. You won't really need to know much about that, not unless you actually break it trying to get it open, but we hope we haven't got to that point. If you have a disc and a drive when you disassemble it, you will have to hook this back up to the working system and eject, or tell it to eject, so it'll slide all the gears back into place. Otherwise you'll never get this back together properly. Once you do that, it's really easy to get back together. In order to take the laser out, on most of these systems, you just take out the screw here that holds this little metal thing in, and then you can take the actual beam out here that the laser slides on, and then you can just take the laser out real easy. I'm not going to do it in this particular video, but it's very easy to do. If you want to reassemble the system, once you've ejected the tray and got it into a state of where it can accept a disc, you want to make sure that this little plastic thing on the bottom side of the top doesn't cover these 2 holes. If you can see any of the white plastic through it, it's not going to stay or not go back together correctly, and then you'll have problems. Slide it forward. Once you get it forward, you can just pop it right back on. Don't forget this little thing right here. You want to put that back, and then you just reassemble. Of course, you want to put the bottom on first before you start reassembling. Makes more sense. Once you got that on, you'll just start reassembling the top. Hinges forward, holding these little metal things on both sides, so it'll slide over right, and then ta-da. Really easy to do, no problems. Put the screws back in, just reverse the whole steps. I'll show pictures on a website I have. But other than that, if you have any questions, let me know. Thank you.